Today we're going to talk about a new twist on a scam that's been going around for a decade, but this new little version of it has been taking money from people at a much faster rate. We've been getting calls on this for the last few months. There's a very prominent news article that came out today about a very high profile case. This has to do with a new type of banking scam where scammers and fraudsters are convincing you to transfer money in a way that seems like it's legitimate, but really it's going to them. And you might not think you'd fall for this, but we've seen business owners, attorneys, accountants all fall victim to it. It's very easy to prevent as long as you know what you're looking for. And also we'll talk about what to do if this does happen to you. So this scam involves, it starts with a phone call. You'll get a telephone call from somebody who claims to be from your bank. They claim to be either a security department, from the ATM fraud department, from the chargeback department, and they'll tell you that somebody's trying to take your money. Some scammer, some hacker is trying to take your money from your account. That's how they start out. They say, look, they're actively trying to break into your account. It looks like, your money's at risk. They're going to transfer it within 72 hours or 48 hours if you don't protect it. We're here to try to protect it. And then they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to tell you to transfer it to a protected account that they've set up for you. We set up a government protected secured account, and if you put your money in there, the hackers won't be able to get it. And they'll give you the account number, the routing number, and they tell you to go online and transfer it over or wire transfer it. Obviously, you know what's happening. You're just sending it to them. This new account isn't yours. And it seems simple, and it seems like I would never fall for that, but they play the numbers, these scammers. They'll contact hundreds of thousands of people, and all they need to do is get one or two, and they're home free. Here's an example of one on the screen. You can see right here, 77-year-old widow lost $661,000 in a common text scam. Remember that word, common. I realize I've been defrauded of everything. And they call this a tech support scam. Criminals use cryptocurrency to carry out the fraud. That's not as common anymore. And this happened in 2021, but it's still happening now. The retiree had wired hundreds of thousands of dollars per the suggestion, claimed to be a fraud investigator at PNC Bank, where she was a customer, and the action was preventative. The investigator persuaded criminals using stolen personal data. This is what happens when there's a cyber attack on a company and they get your data from that company. They said that somebody was in the process of stealing her life savings. To protect her money, she had to move it quickly and covertly. Divulging the problem to anyone, even children, would compromise their efforts. So this is another thing they'll tell you is don't tell anybody, because if you do, it might keep you from protecting your money. The other thing they'll do is they'll say, look, you don't need to do anything. All we need to do is we need to secure your account. So I'm going to send you a text. When you get that text, read me the number, right? So you look on your phone and a text will come through. It'll say 12345, and you say, yep, it came through 12345. That is what's called your second factor authentication, or two-factor authentication. Just like when you log into your bank account, you get a text to make sure it's really you logging in. This person that's calling you is on the other end logging into your account. They have your username. They're trying to reset your password. But because in order to reset a password, they need that code, they call you up. So when the code gets sent to you from your bank, legitimately, they get it, and now they can reset your password. And not only does it allow them to get into your account, but it locks you out. So just to review that again, they know your username from your bank because they got it either from hacking someplace where you log in. Maybe they bought it on the dark web. Maybe they just went through bank logins until they got one that worked, and they found out the phone number, and now they call you up. They don't have the password though. But to get the password, they get you to tell them how to reset it. They call you up. Hey, I'm security from Chase Bank. Your account is being compromised. We need to lock it down. Otherwise, if you don't lock it down within 15 minutes, all your money's going to be wired away. So I'm going to lock it down for you. Don't worry. You don't have to do anything. I'll send you a text. read me the text and I'll take care of it for you. They're not sending you the text. It's a bank sending you the text. Your legitimate bank. But when you take that text, it's only supposed to come to you. When you read it to them, you're actually letting them into your inner circle unintentionally. Now they reset your password. They can log in, wire transfer money, drain your accounts. So what do you do if this happens to you? Well, first, as soon as you suspect anything, actually call, or better yet, go directly to your bank. If it's during banking hours and your bank is within a 5 or 10 minute drive, go there in person. In person. A lot of times when you call, it takes a while to get through to the right person, and they can't really help you. If you go in person, they can maybe take action faster. Hopefully you catch it within minutes or hours, or even within a day. The first thing you want to do is see if there's an opportunity you can do what's called the FKSS. It's the Financial Kill System. Banks have a way to kill transactions while they're still in process, and transactions stay in process sometimes for many hours, sometimes overnight. So if they can catch it early enough, they can do a financial kill and kill that transfer. You may also be able to keep a transaction from happening if it was done improperly. Remember, your bank may not help you as much as you think they are. There's a lot of cases, you can look them up, where the bank says, look, it's your fault for falling for this. We're not getting involved. But if you go there in person, sometimes you'll have better luck. Next thing you want to do is contact government agencies, the police department and the FBI. Now, keep in mind, they're probably not going to drop everything and take your case because they're working on other things and they're very undermanned, understaffed, but at least you want to get a report in as soon as possible. Now contact your insurance company, your homeowner's insurance or business insurance. You may have coverage for this type of crime. You may not, but you want to check on that. And then the other thing you want to do is look at third-party liability. Where did the hacker get your information? If you were a customer of a company that was hacked or had a cyber attack and they got your information from a company, maybe your accounting firm, maybe it was some payment system, maybe your payroll, and you can track back to see that that's the reason they were able to do this, you might get some legal advice to see if that third party has any liability for your loss. And then the last thing you have available to you is you could do an investigation. The government, the state, the police, the FBI probably not going to drop everything and work on a case where you lost money. But you could do your own investigation where you search for the identity of the parties who did this using IP addresses, using digital forensics. Once you discover that, you can do an asset search and then maybe look to garnish those assets using a writ of garnishment. That last half is a legal process, but the first half you could do yourself or hire an investigator to locate the actual people from the records that you have and do an asset search. For more information about that, you can reach our website, activeintel.com. You can also book a consultation with a licensed investigator if you have more questions. But if you've been involved with some type of a scam where they called you up, they said your money's at risk, either transfer the money to a safe account, they give you the number, or we're going to transfer the money and lock it down, but give us the text message code, don't do it. In fact, some hackers are using advanced digital technology to make it easier for them. They know how to spoof a caller ID. So on your phone, it might say Chase Bank, right? On your phone. You might think that's legitimate. There's ways to spoof that and hack that. The other thing they do sometimes is they'll ask you a question that's a yes or no question that they know the answer is yes. Is your name Sally Smith? Yes. They'll record you saying the word yes, and then when they can call in later to the bank to ask for account information or to ask for your password. Sometimes your bank uses phone voice recognition, where if they hear you say the word yes, it authenticates that next step. So be aware if somebody's asking weird questions that doesn't make sense, or even if you have any question, if a bank ever calls you, your best course of action is to hang up the phone, and call the bank back. Call the number on your credit card. Call the number on your bank statement. Go online to find your actual phone number. Call your local branch. If they called you, there's a risk it's not really the bank. If you call them, chances are you called their number, it's going to the bank. So anytime you're doing a phone interaction with any institution that has control over your money, your bank, your investment accounts, your broker, make sure you call them. They did not call you. Or if they did call you, call them back to make sure it's a secure line and it's the actual people that you're talking to.